Hello and welcome to Short Thoughts, the bite-sized interview show where I ask your favourite people in the gaming industry a bunch of somewhat silly questions. My name's DC Bradshaw, and my guest today is Ben Newbon. Thanks for joining me.
Hello.
All right, let's do this then. Question one. For those who don't know you, could you please describe the creative thing or things you do, but only using words of one syllable?
Hi, I'm Ben. I make games and I at times play and stream and make pods.
Very nice, very nice. You managed to get the intros in as well. I don't think anyone's managed that yet.
It helps having a single syllable name.
That it does, that it does. So well done. Right, let's go into less challenging things, potentially. If you were a pirate captain, what would be the name of your ship?
So I used to be really into snowboarding and stuff when I was younger. For a long time, I used the moniker Quicksilver as my like online name.
Hmm.
So I'd probably go with something like that. Quicksilver. It's quite piratey, isn't it? So
Yeah, no, that works. That works. Inevitably, these are either kind of cool or very silly. Sometimes both. It is rare to get something that ticks both those boxes, but I like that. All right, question three. What's your favorite mindless fun popcorn movie?
Um, I used to be really into the really cheesy Adam Sandler films when I was younger. And whenever I'd get lonely when I was in uni, I'd watch 50 First Dates with Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore. It's a silly rom-com of Adam Sandler comedy, and that really gets me every time.
I don't think I've ever actually seen that. I mean, I've seen a few Adam Sandler films, but that's one that's actually possible. I vaguely know what it's about.
So the idea is that Drew Barrymore's character suffers some sort of head trauma or something and loses her memory at the end of every day. And Adam Sandler's character falls in love with her and then has to try and get her to fall in love with him every single day. Yeah,
Hijinks ensue.
hijinks, of course.
Absolutely. Is this the first rom-com we've had on here? If I say it for sure, I guarantee that I'll immediately realize it's not the case.
Would you like me? I can change. I've got others.
No, 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 no. It's all good. I'm asking every guest the same 10 questions. It is nice to have variety and different vibes off of them. So absolutely.
They can't all be Disney films, you know?
That's true. That's true. If you could have a miniature version of a mythological or fantasy creature as a pet, what would it be?
I mean, they're already quite small, but I like chewingas. They're just a fun little critter kind of creature. And like, I don't know, it's kind of like a squirrely kind of thing. I really like flying squirrels as a real creature.
Yes.
If I could have something that's like that as and has magical effects and things, that would be awesome.
I've always been a fan of squirrels. It's one of those, it's like back in the day when someone made the decision back in whatever eras, like that and that we shall domesticate, but not that. I feel they missed a trick, not trying to domesticate the squirrel because
Oh mate, they can't be like we get a lot around here, and we see them run across our fences and stuff through the living room window. Every time it happens, both my kids go squirrel. It's like that up the dog in Up.
yes.
Like, squirrel.
What's your favorite swear word or phrase that's not actually swearing?
So I have quite a potty mouth. And it's difficult for me to not say the swears. I tend to just dampen it down a little bit and say like dang instead of damn, or like whenever I'm going to curse, I'll be like, dang it. And that's about as soft as I can make it usually.
It is definitely one of those ones as a parent. It's one of those, it's like, okay, I have to actively make sure I don't do that. For some reason, a word that I have not used in so long, and it's still sort of cusp of swearing, it's very, very mild. I found crud has re-entered my vocabulary, a word I have not used in a very, very long time.
There's lots of them that are kind of little bit similar to the actual word, like cheese
Yes, absolutely.
or fudge.
Yes. Fudge is a difficult one. I do say it quite a lot, but it is so close that it's one of those that, when someone hears it, it's like, did they actually catch the fact I boulderized and caught myself? Or did they think I just said it?
My kids recently learnt about the F word, but they don't really understand what that means. So they just go around saying any F word they hear, and they're like, oh, they said the F word. It was like finger.
I mean, there we go. We're learning about the English language. We can identify words that begin with the letter F. It's like equally, I imagine, it's like, oh, it's a four-letter word. Well, can't say that. So, no, not every four-letter word.
No, you can say shoe. It's okay.
Yes. That is both an S word and a four-letter word.
Progress, though. It's progress.
You mentioned Disney before, which brings us on to question 6 then. If you had to, or chose to, sing a Disney song at karaoke, what would you choose?
This is definitely your most difficult question. I've seen the other people doing these and be like, that's so hard. I'm not huge on Disney songs. I'd probably go for like a classic Aladdin one. Friend Like Me is the one that pops to mind. But yeah, I'm not huge on singing them. My daughter loves them. She would have me singing Let It Go or like the Moana songs and stuff. So yeah, no, the older classic ones are more my style.
Absolutely good choice. Good choice. Now, Aladdin and Lion King are very, very popular.
Oh, you know what else I just thought of? Under the Sea. That is a great tune.
That is just marvelous, and is now going to be stuck in my head for the rest of the day. So thank you so much for that. But no, no, good shout. Good shout.
You've done this to yourself, Dave.
That's true. I did set up exactly so there will be earworms during it. But oh well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? But no, excellent shout. If you could have a magical item to make your day-to-day life just a little bit easier, what would it be?
Immediate thought jumps to cleaning and prestidigitation or something like that, right? But I think what would actually be more beneficial, because you could get someone else to come in and do cleaning if you had the resources and whatnot.
Mhm.
What you really need is something that's going to give you a long rest every day. And maybe even one of those items that gives you a long rest in place of a short rest. So you could just like have a power nap and suddenly you feel like, oh, I have done a full sleep. I can now go for another 24 hours. That would be great.
Yeah, it is basically the most fantastical part of D&D. Everyone's it's like, oh yes, you've got to sleep for 8 hours. Well, no, actually, I take that back. That is probably realistic and then sort of damning. Is you need to rest for 8 hours in order to feel rested. Well, that's why I don't feel rested at any time.
Yeah, man.
They have no spell slots whatsoever.
But make a power nap a proper nap, then you're good.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm one of those sorry people who can't nap. I mean, I can physically do it, but I wake up like feel sort of jet lagged.
Yeah.
I wake up and like, oh,
The disorientation and yeah.
what's going on? Where am I? Who am I?
And then it wrecks your sleep for the actual night.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. My wife is the exact opposite. She knows how to nap and it is a pro, but I can't do it. So yes, a ring of ultimate power nap.
Mm.
Yes, yes, I would love one of those, please. What's a book that you think everyone should read?
It's a bit of an epic, and probably for the people that actually enjoy reading and have the time to read. But my favorite book is East of Eden by John Steinbeck,
Okay.
and it is a thick book, and it covers like the generations of a number of families in the kind of Western United States back in the early 1900s, and it's one of these very kind of epic family stories, but it's not grandiose in any way. It's just following their lives and the dramas around them and their town and their village and how the different generations interact and develop over time. And it always just kind of captivated me as being like this historical kind of story, but it's just fiction, right? But
Hmm.
it's a kind of world that's completely alien to anybody these days, really.
Yeah, no, I'd say it's not a book I've read. I actually heard of it. But there is something very appealing in just sort of following a story, which can be, of course, what you do with every story and every film you watch and stuff like that, but almost where it's not bombastic. There is something nice about that. It's one of the things that I think still appeals about Forrest Gump. I mean, clearly hijinks ensue during that film, and he goes through more,
Yeah.
bizarre things than most people would. But there's something nice about the fact you're just tracking a guy through his life, and things happen to him. So that is. There's something very appealing about that.
Yeah, and I love John Steinbeck as an author, and most people know him from Of Mice and Men,
Yes.
which I hated because we had to study it at school. But through that, I found Cannery Row, which is another kind of similar story from that era and location, and then onto the much larger East of Eden. So there's so much more to it than just the one book that everybody knows from high school,
No, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I had to study Mice and Men in school. I didn't mind it. It was one of those books where you had to wonder bits of the symbolism in there. It's like, absolutely, that was clearly intended. And then you go like, is this just my English teacher just picking on absolutely every theme? It's like, well, I've noticed more than 4 occurrences of this. Therefore, this is a theme that we shall write about in our essays.
But it's so sad as well, right?
It is.
Like Grapes of Wrath, another Steinbeck book, also incredible tragedy. East of Eden, not quite so tragic. So it's a bit lighter in that sense.
And I think we need that nowadays. Yes. Yeah. There is so much awfulness everywhere that actually, yes, I would like my fiction and stuff to be maybe less horrible, possibly. Would be nice. We'll see. Okay, we're nearly there. Question 9. What's the creative thing you've made or done that you're most proud of?
I made Overgrown, which is a rules light game about weird hybrid animals. And it's just ridiculous. It's so fun. There's not so many games out there about playing as animals and having weird animals that people can just mash together and be like, I'm going to be a squirrel with octopus tentacles and wings and a frog's tongue. It just brings out everyone's wildest weirdness of like creatures. And I run it a lot at cons that I go to, and you just get people rock up who have never played a game before or just looking for something lighthearted, and you just say to them, look, just pick a bunch of animals and mush them together and that's your character. And you just see people's eyes light up at this. And every now and again, you someone that's actually good at art, and they'll sit there with the character sheet and drawing it. You're like, wow, that is horrific and amazing.
Yes, I feel there are many laws that say you're not allowed to do that. You can't, breed those two things together. But no, you're right. I mean, that's the thing. In theory, I mean, one of the wonderful things about tabletop RPGs is it's imaginative play, and frequently it's imaginative play for adults who don't get to explore that as often, which is wonderful. But then you play stuff for a while, and eventually the kind of confines of your imagination slowly retract a little bit, and you bounce around the same sort of ideas. I mean, not everyone does. Inevitably, there's always people who go for the incredibly bizarre. It's like, oh, you didn't think I would combine X with Y, and this created this most bizarre character.
And that's it. Like, so it's a really open system that really you can do anything and you can make anything in it. And giving people that freedom, sometimes you get like the decision paralysis and stuff in choosing what you want, but having that openness and being able to say, like literally in the book, it says, it doesn't have to make sense. So you can be an elephant with bee wings and still be able to fly, even though it makes no logical physical sense. But
absolutely,
yeah, just go with it.
As a parent, are you familiar with Flip Flap Zoo and those equivalent books?
Yeah, we got loads.
Yeah, it's like my brain immediately went to that in terms of it's like I will have a top half of this and a bottom half of that. Here we go. And inevitably I will mash the names together because it makes it fun. Marvelous. Well, I will definitely have links for that. So I would suggest people check that out. Finally, could you please tell us your favourite inoffensive, groan-worthy dad joke?
So I used this one on my daughter the other day and she found it hilarious. I'm not sure she fully understood it because she then started making up her own versions of it that really didn't work. But what is brown and sticky?
I don't know.
A stick.
Hey, there we go. I have a soft spot in my heart for those sorts of... It's not just groan-worthy, those sorts of jokes. It is just... It's almost a non-joke. Love it, love it. So thank you so much for your time. If folks have enjoyed these insights into the brain of Ben Newbon, where can they find you on the internet?
I'm just Ben Newbon everywhere. That's Newbon. I'm on Twitter, Blue Sky, YouTube, Itch.io. Yeah, all those places. Just type in Ben Newbon and you'll find me.
Marvellous. And links to everything will be in the description. And thank you out there for watching and or listening to this. I'm DC Bradshaw, and this has been Shought Thorts with Ben Newbon. Have an amazing day. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.